when I saw Slayer for the first time, that was when it was locked in. I just knew that thrash metal was the ultimate. And me and my buddies would drive around and listen to Metallica and Slayer and, all that classic thrash stuff. And to me, it just seemed like the ultimate metal, like supreme, metal supreme.
For me, I had a friend I used to run around in the neighborhood and fuck with when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something. And he had a older brother who was into like a lot of heavy metal and stuff. So I heard like Sepultura and Slayer and Metallica and stuff like that. I heard like Napalm Death, but I didn't know it at the time that it was Napalm Death, which is kind of cool. But then like I got into punk and then like got into D.R.I. because it was like D.R.I. is like the punk band that like crossed over or whatever. And then I also had a friend, he was like my first friend to drive in high school, and he was like older than everyone in freshman class, and he got like this big red Dodge truck for his birthday, and we would just drive around in that all the time, like every weekend, and listen to only Rain and Blood. And so his truck became known as the Slayer Mobile. So I think that's really probably when it clicked for me, was the Slayer Mobile. Shout outs to Jeff Reynolds, my man.
Probably like Ozzfest or something, I was 17 or so. I can't remember exactly, but I remember it was a big outdoor deal. It just seemed like the evilest thing ever. At that time...
Yeah, I think Slayer was the first thrash band I saw as well. At a big outdoor thing.
Mm-hmm. And it just was the most intense thing ever. And I can still remember how I felt hearing it for the first time. It just had a serious effect on me. Wasn't familiar. I had heard the name. I'd seen the logo and stuff. And
what's funny is I think the first like thrash band I saw as a conscious like lover of thrash metal was the Waste. Actually,
I feel old now.
No, well, no, because I think I was like, this was like 2002 or 3. So I mean, I'm not too far behind you. I'm not that pathetic.
No, it's cool, man. Things were so crazy in those first couple years touring with Waste. It was such a crazy snowball of just everywhere we go, people would just lose their fucking minds.
There's so much stamina when you're younger too, to just like put up with all the craziness of that. You guys had it like so wild. Like I remember watching what song was the one that's basically just footage from that Richmond show, and there's like people with like surfboards.
Unleash the Bastards.
Yeah, Unleash the Bastards. That was such a sick video when that dropped. I remember watching that thing like a dozen times in a day.
The guys that made that music video, they now do a show on Adult Swim called Mr. Pickles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I knew you guys were friends with them. That's cool. That's a fucked up show.
Yeah, it's the most fucked up show
pretty
ever.
Twisted.
Yeah, and they've made it all the way to L.A. making cartoons about satanic dogs that murder people. So shout out to those guys.
Rape and murder people.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's pretty grim.